Hey there everybody and welcome back to the channel. My name's Chris Ormy and today we are back here playing some Motorsport Manager. We're here at Season 2 with Predator in the ERS. And we did okay. We did okay Season 1. So we're really now starting to try and improve. So got a few drivers being scouted. That was kind of the last thing we did. We're sticking with our staff as they are. I think we got a good 1-2 punch as drivers right now. And of course that work there, upgrading the factory to level 2, that's only 7 weeks away, so a couple of months and that will be done. So, I'm fairly happy with where we are and how we are setting up. So, today we need to go to Russia to open up round 1 of 11, because the South African Grand Prix is now Grand Prix number 11 in our schedule. So round 1 of 11 to the Black Sea, track F, and you can see the tyre wear is really high. So that's going to be the big thing for us. Can we get the tyre wear to where we need it to go? 18 laps, and yeah, we might be able to do something here. We might be able to do something. So I've chosen 6 or above for 700,000. If we get 6 or above and don't land in the top 3, then we gain a bit of money, which is quite nice, to be fair. In fact, you can see we don't gain much more for finishing first. But of course, the bonuses that will come out if we did get into the top 3, we would need to get first to kind of pay those off. So, ultimately, we're okay for the moment. We need to be better soon. But here's the cars and the setups we're going with. I know some people don't like it, but Rodriguez is the better driver and he is getting the better car. So he gets the brakes and the engine and the gearbox and suspension that are more reliable at this stage. If there's anyone that's quite close, he gets the better performance part. I want to keep him on track and I want to keep him going as much as possible. Cruz, I mean, he's going to struggle in this race. This is race number 1. We know that this kind of sucks. But it's where we are. And we're heading down to Russia on the Black Sea for the Grand Prix number 1 of 11. Year 2 ERS. Let's get things going. Now, one thing I do really enjoy here is the practice setups, and I think you guys know by now I'm pretty good at them. So let's hope that we can get this one off to a good start. So let's see what we're doing here then. So Cruz and Rodriguez, that's pretty good as is. You can see we're barely in the handling and we're barely in the speed balance there. Downforce doesn't worry me, so maybe we make some changes there. We're on the super soft tire, that's where we want to be. Oh, and even more. So, in that case, I think we need a bit more top speed. Not a lot. I think I'm just going to go there to 63 and leave the rest as is for now. So that's Rodriguez set up then. And as well there on that super soft compound for Cruz. That's going to start us off in the practice session. I'll be back with results from practice and a look at our setup to see where we are going into the race. See you guys in a moment. Okay, we come back during practice. I've just this moment hit level 3 on super soft and race trim. Yeah, we're doing really well. So I want them to do one big flying lap, which at the moment they're sitting in 6th and 7th. So let's see if Cruz can get through here, and it doesn't look like he affects too much there. So we're going to bring in, at the end of this one, he's up into 3rd. That's pretty good. So drop down on the fuel a bit. In fact, push neutral. You can push overtake just to get them back into the pits. You can see I already had Cruz at excellence across the board. as I say, we started off here with a little bit more in the gear ratio. Things weren't working out just right. So I went up to 16 and 26.5. We nailed the handling by just moving up the suspension stiffness, and the gear ratios got worse. Then we decided to mess about a little bit, brought the angles down a little bit, sort of higher downforce. So we brought the angles down just a touch, and we've nailed everything. 99% is not quite 100, but for me it was worth it to see crews out there running well. Now we've got level 3s. I'm not going to use the softs, I'm not going to use the intermediates, but I'm not going to use the softs in the race. I'm only going to use intermediates if it rains. So I'm kind of thinking, why don't we, for the last bit of this race, just throw him out on intermediate tyres. He's going to be terrible right now because there's no water on track. But that's not what it's about. We know the setup's good. We can maybe get level 1 intermediate knowledge. So if that does happen during the race, if we start off in the rain, or I think it's going to be rain throughout the whole race, which the forecast haven't said it will be, but let's see what it's like during that first part of the race. We could get ourselves that. There's no point staying on super softs right now. So I think we're going to send crews out with that setup, new tires, and let's see. 6 minutes. He's not going to have too much, so let's just push into high and conserve, because that tire's probably gonna wear out. High fuel to compensate there to make sure that Rodriguez gets in okay. He will get in okay, and so conserve high is where he's gonna end up, because we're doing the same with him. Now, not quite as good with Rodriguez. Remember, 99 with Cruz, 3 excellence across the board. We're only on 98 with Rodriguez. We found that sweet spot a little sooner. Again, just that touch of gear ratios to begin with was a nice setup. Then we decided to go a little bit more on suspension and gear, just like we did with Cruz. Not quite as much. I messed up there the front angle a tiny bit. We put that up onto 16. It doesn't seem to be too much in the way changed, so we're going to go with this. Once again, 6 laps, intermediate tires, and let's just get them both running here then on this. So at the moment, 4th and 7th for the day is not too bad. We're about a second behind Strambi and Costa, but then again, everybody is. So this isn't really about getting the best time here in practice, but it is all about getting some knowledge here. It looks like we are going to hit that level 1 intermediate without too much issue. I am fairly happy with that. So it's going to push overtake, and just see what we can get on here. So last 3 minutes of practice. I'll be back at the end of it, guys. You already know what the setup's going to look like for the race. And hopefully, if it is raining, we've got something that we can use. If not, we'll be okay. And there's level 1 on intermediate. Probably not going to be able to get that level 2. I think that's a bit too far. We're going to try and finish strong, so that maybe we get a chance. But I'll be back, like I say, at the end of this practice session for you guys, at the start of the race. Well, didn't get that level 2. We weren't really that close to it either, so I'm okay there. But you can see 6th and 9th we end up. Ozu, of course, leading the way. Let's make sure that we're up here. So Strambi and Costa, number 1 and 2. Mori and Dufa at Garuda. We expected them to be good, and they are. Then it's down to Firebird and ourselves battling for that next spot. Vixala aren't too far behind either. Octane are right in that mix, and Silver Racing as well, not too far behind. So yeah, we kind of know what we're doing. Looks like ZRT are the worst team, with Dragon Race Team China just ahead of them. But ultimately, we're in a good position. Now, first race of the season, and this is, of course, all about reliability. So if we can manage the parts, we should be able to finish. We should be able to do quite decently, and then we will see how we progress throughout the season. So I'm happy with where we are, what we're doing, and oh my days, it is a wet start. It's gonna go full wet. I mean, oh my. So I don't know what this is gonna be then. So that's super softs. Oh, I mean, pit stops are gonna be key, I think. So race trim. If it was staying intermediate, I might go for that percentage boost on intermediate tires. But you know what? We're going to remove the red zone and just try and get Rafa across that line in good position. So let's hope that's right then. We've got our setups, we've got our tire choices. From the line, we're going to go full out. Let's go for it. No messing about. And here we go, round one of the ERS. So you see Rafa there up in third place right now, and if we move back, you can see a couple of the dangerous drivers around, but there in 11th is Cruz with Doofer right behind him. So that could be an interesting battle there. So let's try not to mess up the view too much. Overhead, and let's zoom out. So we go here with 5 red lights at the Black Sea Grand Prix. Rodriguez off to a decent start there. Cruz defends well enough and will get up into 10th place here at the turn. It looks like Rodriguez will get a pretty good start too. Up into first place, battling there with Valdez to try and make it stick, and he won't. Valdez will get away there. But ultimately, that's a good start for both our drivers. Cruz there battling with Stromby, trying to get up into that 8th place. But he's going to fall down a little bit. Overall, pretty decent Rodriguez there with the best start of everyone. Now, this is going to stay wet for a while, I feel. So we're going to push those tires and we're going to go down into medium for now, just to try and make sure that we're not pushing ourselves too much. If that rain comes down, it will come down at lap 4 actually. Ooh, so you know what? We'll keep on overtake mode then. We will keep on overtake mode. So we're down into 3rd now with Rodriguez. Cruz here sitting in 11th. And yeah, already the positions are gonna be quite bad. So high and push. High and push. Let's see if we can get that there. The tire temperature is a little bit lower than I'd like. I'm trying to use up fuel without really hurting the car too much, which is going to be a big factor, I think, in this race. So let's see now, what's this rain going to do? It's going to come down. So about lap 4, if we can get in and refuel, we might be okay. So maybe at the end of this lap, I'm not sure what Valdez is going to do, and whether or not we can actually follow him in. So it's a time to come in. I think it might be. But with Cruz. So let's go on to that intermediate tire then for the next few laps. Let's get that going. We're going to fix that and we'll be right towards the back. I mean, kind of need to fix both of those. But yeah, that's the one that needs fixing. So let's go 22 seconds then. He won't quite be at the back. We will risk, and we will see where we end up. So let's hope that works out as planned. I'm not convinced utterly it will. I'm going to go one more lap here, and therefore we're going to go all out. We're going to pit in with Rodriguez at the end of this lap, put him on those intermediate tyres, and 2 laps, 3 laps maybe. So let's get in. Yeah, let's get in somewhere there. And again, I want to throw in that part, but I just think that fast might be a bit risky there. So let's go balanced with him. So let's see what Cruz ends up in. He's 11th, 15th, 18th. This is where we expected to be. This is where we expected to be, because we lapped 19th and 20th. But now on these inters, he might complain straight away, but then again, he might be okay. So let's see what we do there. And they go through, it looks, on those wet tyres for one more lap, which means that Rodriguez should be fairly clear when he goes through as well. So, okay, so that's helped out the engine. We're sitting now in 15th and 18th. We should be running quicker than the cars around us. We're only swapped out the tyres and gained a bit more fuel, it seems. So let's ignore that then from Rodriguez and just see where we go. 13th, 10th, 9th place. Look at that. And only Costa ahead of us and Stramby have pit already. So 9th and 13th, that's a good setup for us right now. And we're looking at around lap 9 to come back in once more and get ourselves a little bit more a little bit more in the way of new tyres. So Rodriguez is going to come out here now, up into 4th place. And I think we're going to keep on there, up into 3rd place. I like that. So let's keep pushing him around and keeping Rodriguez where he is at the moment. Cruz might need some part fixes. I think at the end of this lap is a good place to bring in Rodriguez. So let's get that going. And we're going to go on to the super softs. And we just hope that it's going to be absolutely fantastic. Now, we've got about 9 laps left, so we might as well just pull that so we can do a splash and dash at the end and fix things if we think they need it. But let's get Rodriguez there into the pits, get him going on, and then we can start pushing Cruz around, because he can then come into the pits as well in just a moment. So let's get him into the pits then. I'm gonna throw in all that fuel. I think he can now make it to the end of the race if we are sensible. But we're gonna have to fix that part. We're gonna go fast and see what Cruz can do there. So he's probably actually gonna run out of fuel a long time before. So pretty sure he is. Let's pit for inters. Let's not pit for inters. Let's keep on keeping on. So Cruz is falling victim to low fuel. That's a bit of an issue. I dislike that whatsoever. So class, we might as well keep pushing a little there, but let's keep the tyre temperatures in a nice area. So push medium. In fact, attack medium for the time being. So 4th and 11th, not a great time there it seems, but up into 2nd now with Rodriguez. We should probably nurse that car a bit more, but you know what? I really don't think that I want to. So, excess fuel. Now, if it's 1.3 a lap on overtake, which I think it is, and we need 5 there, so that would give us about 6.5 laps. So we should have the fuel to do that. The parts are going to be a little bit dicey there, though. So I'm thinking push high, and we just see if we can nurse Cruz home. We're going to see how that one works. And I think with Rodriguez, we're just going to push the car as much as we can right now, because we know we don't have enough fuel anyway. So we're going to try a little splash and dash at some point in this race. So we might as well try and kill a little bit more with him and just see where we can end up. Because all we need is that top 6. We're not looking for a podium. We're not really struggling right now to try and figure out where we're going or how we're going to do things. So yeah, I mean, Cruz, we could fix that, but the engine's probably not going to last anyway. I think we're going to have to keep Cruz out for now. And that engine with Rodriguez is going to be a little bit dodgy, but we're going to go one more lap with him. And now we're going to pit. We're going to put him on those tyres. Those should last for 3 laps. Give him a bit of extra fuel. And, oh, what should we do, guys? What should we do here? I've got a decision to make here, so I'll make my decision. I'll join you at the end of the race, and we'll kind of see how this one plays out. But at the moment, I'm leaning towards leaving these parts alone, so unless I change my mind, I think we're going to try and nurse the last 3 laps out of this car and keep ourselves in contention. So yeah, we're gonna see how well that works, guys. I think maybe, I don't know. Let me think over it some more. I've got an incoming phone call, so I'll have a think while that's coming in. I'll be back in a moment. Well, there it is, guys. I did decide not to fix things, and we nursed home a 2% engine. I'm past El Sadat down the back end of the course, kind of where we're going round now. And yeah, just on this turn, and then he got passed later on by a couple other people as well, but it's a win there for Rodriguez. Cruz, I mean, his engine tapped out with about 3/4 of a lap to go, and if they hadn't, the brakes would have anyway. So we knew we were running it close with Cruz. I wasn't sure how close it was going to be with Rodriguez, but we open up round 1 with a win, and that is absolutely fantastic. That little splash and dash at the end got us through. Really pleased with that. Cruz managed to get a lot more done than I thought he would. To be honest with you, he was always in danger of retiring, so kind of an issue, but we knew it was going to be there. First couple of races are always fairly similar. So yeah, guys, that's kind of how it finishes, which means Cruz is going to be in a good position for the next race. He'd be down near the front. Rodriguez gets big points and gets that opening day win, which kind of puts us in the place that we want to be, of course. And there we go, 20 points. Straight away, we see us on top, and that is phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. So I was hoping that we'd get through a little better than we did, but ultimately, there's Rafa with the first win of the season. Nicolo Strambi is there in second place for Ozu, and Silva's Eduardo Mayo is there in third. That means that we do finish race 1 atop the charts there, and we're up into 4th place in the team standings. Now all that means is if one of our drivers had won, like Rodriguez did, to get up into 1st place we needed 4 more points, because Silva would have been knocked back 1 place, 1 point more than likely, maybe not actually. But that's a 13th or a 12th place, so 1st, is good, but we do need somewhere around 10th to 12th place to be the top team. So that's going to be a little bit interesting there. So let's see what we got to be doing in terms of improvements to the reliability of the parts. In 7 weeks that should be a lot quicker with that factory upgrade. But apart from that, I think that was a really decent race. I risked a lot on the reliability, and luckily, Rafa got us through that. But yeah, overall as well, I don't think the crews did too badly at all. So yeah, his morale is going to be going up. Our marketability and chairman happiness are down because we were expected to be a little better than we were. And yeah, we even make some money there despite finishing in that 1st place and having to pay out a lot of money. So I'm happy with that. Bit more money in the car. An opening weekend win at the Black Sea Grand Prix. And even though we retired in 17th with crews, we're still very, very close to hitting our objective here for the teams. In fact, a couple more points would have seen us up into 3rd. So ultimately this season should be fairly successful. Let's just see what we've got going on here. Who was scouted? Car condition. We got wrecked. Accept the interview. Real team effort there. Wasn't a great drive, but he will do better. So that's just easy. Scout and report. Cavalcante. So Amanda is not as smooth as I'd like, so the tyre wear might be a bit high. Bad on feedback, but good elsewhere. And she does have the potential. She is selfish, but a hard worker. So it doesn't affect the mechanic relationship. In fact, mechanic relationship will go up. Chairman happiness and teammate morale will go down. Right now she's been embezzling, but she has been meditating at the same time. Kind of an interesting mix there. I'm going to say no, because I really do prize those drivers who have that feedback. So right now, for me, Hedwig Duffer could be a phenomenal prospect. He would kill the smoothness, and he would not be good at all in Belgium. But apart from that, I really do think that he could be a good prospect. So let's compare to Cruz, and we can see braking and cornering far better. The smoothness, aka tyre wear, is going to be much worse. Overtaking slightly better, consistency similar. He's not as adaptable. His fitness levels are better. He's slightly worse at feedback, but not too much. And the focus is the same. So overall, that's pretty decent. I wouldn't really replace Rodriguez with him. I'm not sure that would be the right move. And yeah, we're finding some of these good young drivers, though, that could be an option. Hong Liao could still be an option for us. But we'll see how it all works out. We've still got a couple more of those to go. So let's get the parts all back up. And let's go look at the sponsors. This is where we make our money. So only one sponsor here. So we've only got the first place at the moment. So okay. 11th or above for 300 grand. I mean, that's not bad, but that's not really what I'm looking for. third or above. It's the money per race which really does mean something. So yeah, that 1.2 million to win. Yeah, you know, I think Vamoose has got to be our choice. So we earn a little bit of money. We're up to 4 million. And that means we don't have to worry about this deal anymore. And I'm going to wait on the other one. I just don't feel that this is a good enough deal for us to be sort of taking at this stage. So let's see, play sport, 7th or above, 650. That's more like it. And we get the bonus for the UK. And that's all I need. That's all I need. I've got a 7th, I've got a 3rd, and we let this one roll round and see what else we can grab. But decent bonuses from both I quite like. And in the UK, you know, play sport will be the one to do. But we've now got more money in the bank. So let's go up here and 4 million. 12 weeks. I think so. So we're up to 2.5 million. We're building the scouting facility. That's going to help us find the young drivers we can really build on in the future. But in the meantime, this factory building is going to be getting, getting along quite nicely and putting us in a position where we can do something. So let's go here then. Improving parts. And let's see what really does need to be done. I think that engine does badly. And we can improve that as well. And then we'll improve. I know the brakes were bad, but what was this? Gearbox and suspensions. Gearbox and suspension. So okay then. Let's work on those two. And I think, let's see, what would be a better improvement? I think suspension would be a better improvement. So let's go have a look at our suspensions then. 25 to max would be probably the best one there. And yeah, that one would be the next upgrade. So, okay, I'm happy enough to do this. We could risk things. We could risk things. You know what? I think I will risk. I think I will risk that. 760,000. We're going to get a good suspension out of this. That's going to make us a little bit more competitive. And that should put us in a good place. So, Keta Wandwi can't corner at all. Interesting. The improvement rate here is quite low, of course, because of the age, but no fitness whatsoever. Chairman's happiness is minus 25. I'm not sure what the string in database not translated is just yet, but whatever it is, you know that the chairman does not like it. And we've got ourselves a little bit of a drift racer here for the next 14 weeks. Let's have a look then. He only just signed a new contract. But with Cruise. So what we gain, we lose throughout this as well. So he is worse, but we gain it back on the braking. Cornering's not a strength anyway. Neither is fitness. Feedback we would lose on. And focus. But ultimately, we'd be in a good position. I'm not sure I'm really not sure, but we should see how he works out over the next season or two before making up our minds. Hopefully he turns out to be a good driver, and maybe we can recruit him to be our reserve driver. That's kind of what I'm thinking there. Let's have a look then. Improve more parts. Can I not just get those done? And there we go then. So we'll see how this all works out. And there we go. So the new part will be working there. Focus and morale down. Cruz has been gambling. That's not great. But let's get ourselves in here. Check out our new suspension. And it is pretty decent. It is pretty decent. So 134 to 172. That will make us a bit more competitive. So yes, I am really quite happy with that. So let's get that underway. And that suspension. So yeah, we're just working on the gearbox and suspension here, mainly to help out our good friend race winner Rafael Rodriguez, because he's going to be running with that suspension. That's going to make him quite competitive, I hope, and really try and bridge the gap in terms of the car. So we'll see what those kind of turn out like. Oops. Car, improve parts. 66.52. I will improve the engine, because that normally takes a bit of a beating as well. No, I will improve that. There's no point not improving it. So we're ready then to travel out to Munich. 3 weeks away from getting level 2 factory. 9 weeks from that scouting facility. And that could work out quite decently. Money-wise, we're in good position. It looks like should be a sunny race. But we're really hoping that we've got what it takes here. Third or above. I think we can do third. I think we can do third or above. So, improving parts. They look to be pretty decent now. But yeah, that will probably wrap things up for this video, guys. I hope you've enjoyed. I hope you're looking forward to seeing if Rafa can pull out another win. And if we get banned for that part, you know. A few questions left to answer. We're off to a good start here in Season 2 with Predator. Until next time though, guys, thanks very much for watching. Y'all take care, like and subscribe if you already haven't. And I'll see you in Munich for round 2.